All right, so welcome again. Thank you for being here this evening. We're going to start in a seated posture, so go ahead and find that comfortable position with the legs crossed, or maybe sitting on the heels in supported hero, with or without props, whatever is the best for you. And we're going to begin with a few minutes of alternate nostril breathing once we're centered. For this one, you want to use your right hand. It's traditionally the right hand, but if that's not your dominant hand, then you can use your dominant hand. And we're going to be bringing the index and middle finger down. So you're going to be using your thumb to plug, if it's your right hand, thumb will plug your right nostril, ring and pinky finger together work, just closing the left nostril back and forth. But your index and middle will just fold down out of the way. Okay, we'll get there in a moment. For now, you can just let both hands relax in your lap. Feel your shoulder blades draw down your back and let there be a heaviness in your arms. Feeling the elbows fall down toward the earth and the hands rest heavily against your legs. Feel the weight of your eyelids and try and let any movement in the eyes settle as you soften the muscles in your face, especially in the forehead and between your eyebrows, and also around your lower jaw. Take a few moments just to check in with yourself right now, noticing what you are experiencing in your body tonight. Acknowledging what your mood is like, where your energy level is. Taking in your whole state of being. This self-inquiry, this type of body scan is what helps really bring our focus into the present. Notice the sensation of your ankles pressing against your mat. Can you let your toes be relaxed? Can the calf muscles soften? Just letting there be a general heaviness in the legs that roots you down into the earth. And in contrast to that downward energy through your lower body and through the arms and shoulders, can you start to feel an upward energy through your spinal column? From your lower back, moving all the way up and out the crown of the head, so that your body feels alert and awake. So a little bit of effort in the muscles of your lower back and your core to help support that upward energy. And now let's turn the attention to the breath. Just noticing how your breath moves in and out of the body. Listening to its sound. Noticing what moves As you inhale, what expands? And noticing what moves, what contracts as you exhale. Just begin to make this process more purposeful. No longer breathing automatically like you do throughout the day, but rather guiding breath in and guiding breath out, with the intention of slowing down and deepening your breath. When we do this, we take fewer breaths per minute, and this slower rate of breathing really has a profound effect on our central nervous system. It can really aid us in letting go of stress response or reactivity, and signal to the body that it's okay to relax, to let go of tension. So as you're settling into this slower, deeper breath, we'll prepare to do a few rounds of this breathing practice, this pranayama, called Nadi Shodhana in Sanskrit, or in English it's called alternate nostril breathing. So again, using your dominant hand, you're going to fold your index and middle finger down, and then just bring that hand up to your face so that your thumb is ready to press one side of the nose. For me, it's my right. And those other two fingers are ready to press the other side. But keep both sides open for now. And just find a place here where the hand is at the ready, and check in with that shoulder. You want to make sure that putting the hand in this position doesn't cause the shoulder to creep upwards or to get tense. So try and keep that heaviness in the shoulder blade of the hand that you're using. When you're ready, take a deep breath in through both sides of your nose. Plug the right and exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. That's one round. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Two more cycles. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release your hand. Inhale through both sides. Exhale completely through both sides. Good. Resume that slow, deep breath through both nostrils. And just notice how you feel. How does that breath affect you? What is the ripple through your body? Good. When you're ready, float your eyes open. take a moment to adjust to the light in your space. All right, and let's come forward into table pose on the hands and knees. If you are sitting up on anything, you can move it aside. You might want to have blocks or a blanket for this practice at any point, so feel free to have anything that you might want near your mat. Good, let's just plant the palms shoulder width apart and the knees hip width apart. We're going to get into the spine and shoulders. Inhale, lift your tailbone, chest, and chin, looking forward or up. And then exhale, tuck and round as you push the mat, spreading the shoulders apart, hollowing the chest. Again, inhale, lifting the tail, chest, and chin. Exhale, tucking the tail and the chin, rounding the back. Again, inhale, lift, and come to the arch position and stay here and breathe. And just start to kind of rock your hips left and right while you're still in the back bend. So just exploring some lateral movement, maybe hugging the shoulder toward the hip on each side. Maybe tilting the ear to the shoulder as you do this lateral movement. And then the next time you exhale, straighten the spine, come through neutral, and then go to the rounded position. Hold the rounded position and breathe, and do the same thing. Get into the hips, kind of rocking side to side, or you can even lower the hips toward the heels a little each time. Just exploring other directions of movement while you're holding the rounded spine shape. Any movement possibilities in the shoulders, hips, and neck with the rounded spine. Good. The next time that you inhale, come through neutral and back to the arch position. Once more for each direction. Holding the arch to the best of your ability while moving around in any way through the shoulders, hips, and neck. The next time that you exhale, come through neutral. Last time to the rounded position, cat pose, really hollowing out the chest, and then explore any type of movement that you can find without totally losing the rounding that you've got in your back. Another few breaths just to explore into your spine and the major joints. Good, and then come back to a neutral table pose. From here, extend your right leg behind you, so it's up in the air about hip height. Toes can be pointed or the ankle can be flexed, whatever works. Gently firm your belly button up and in to support your lower back. And then pressing strongly into your right hand, reach your left hand in front of you, finding this cross lateral balance. One more breath in. Exhale, just the hand back to the mat. And now bend your right knee and try and bring it to the outside of your right shoulder or tricep. And then we're going to step that foot just outside of the right hand. Good. Come up on your fingertips or maybe put your hands on blocks. My right foot is actually off of my yoga mat. Yours might be on the edge of it. Whatever works for you. We've got a wide-legged lunge, both arms inside. Let's slide the left knee a little farther back toward the end of the mat, getting nice and low in your pelvis here. Just like we did in those cat-cows, let's rock a little bit in the body here, so maybe back and forth in the hips. Just moving in this posture in any way that would feel good to you right now. Good, and then let the pelvis settle back at center. Keep your palms where they are. My fingers are kind of in line with where my right toes are. They're not too far ahead or behind that. And then start to really push down through your right foot and send your hips back in space. Just working your way toward half split and then return to that lunge. So it might take a few of these for you to really straighten your right leg. Let's press through the foot, send the hips back, working toward that half split, and then returning. 2 more with motion. Exhale, send the hips back. Inhale, return to the lunge. Exhale, hips back. Maybe the right leg straightens even more. Inhale to the lunge. And then this time we're going to stay back. Exhale, send the hips back. Lift the right toes up and try your best to straighten the right leg. The arms are inside the leg, so it's going to feel like you're off to the side slightly with this variation. Fold your upper body down to the inside of the right leg as you try and straighten it here. Good, last deep breath in. Exhale, return to your low lunge. Let's walk the back knee closer to the front of the mat, so just inch it up. And then step your front foot back to table pose. Good, take a moment, feel free to move around, do a cat-cow if you like. And then we'll take this for the other side, starting with that cross lateral balance. Your left leg is going to extend behind you about the height of the hip. Push really strongly through your left palm, and when you're ready, reach your right hand in front of you. Finding one long line of energy here. Breathing deeply, gently hugging the navel up and in. One more breath in. Exhale, just a hand back to the mat, and now bend your left knee and open the hip. Try and bring the knee up to your outer shoulder or armpit, and then step the foot at the front of the mat outside of the left hand, setting up for this wide angle low lunge. Good, once you're there, walk your right knee a little farther back so that the pelvis is low. Maybe you're up on the fingertips, or maybe your hands are on blocks. Just start to rock the pelvis back and forth, exploring some movement here in this wide angle lunge. Good, and then we're going to go back and forth 4 times before we hold the half split. So find your pelvis at center. Press down through that front heel and start to send the hips back. Maybe the leg doesn't straighten very much. And then return to the lunge. A few times, just gradually building. Exhale, hips back as the left leg starts to straighten. Inhale, pelvis forward, returning to the lunge. 2 more. Exhale, send the hips back. Inhale, return. Exhale, hips back, left leg is straightening more now. Inhale, return. Last one, we're gonna hold, exhale, hips back. Definitely lift the left toes up now if you haven't already. You're pressing through the heel, trying to straighten the left leg in our half split as we're folding the upper body down. Because of the variation of the lunge that we were in, this left leg will feel like it's angled out to the side slightly, and that is correct for this version of the pose. And then last breath in. Exhale and return to that lunge. Good, walk your back knee a few inches closer to the front of the mat. And then step your front foot back, bring that knee down for table pose. Good, from here in table, move around a little bit if you like, a few more cat-cows or just rocking in the hips. Good, and then let's come to child's pose. Separate your knees wider than hip width. Point your toes and sit back on your heels, upper body melting forward and down. Let the forehead touch the floor or put a block there or stack your hands if it doesn't meet. Try and soften the arches of your feet and relax the toes. Just settle in here to your breath. Feeling yourself expand outward in all directions as you inhale. And then letting everything contract back into your center as you exhale. Good. From here, go ahead and lift back up into table pose. Plant your palms shoulder width apart, slightly ahead of your shoulders now, spreading the fingers widely. Tuck your toes so your heels lift. Press the hips back to the heels like you're going to do an active child's pose, and then lift your hips up for our first down dog. Adjust the hands and feet if you need to, finding that length for your limbs and your spine. Let your head hang heavily, and maybe some movement might feel good for this first down dog. You can rock the hips back and forth, pedaling the knees, really working one heel down while the other heel lifts to stretch deeply through the calf muscles. See what your body wants in this pose tonight. Good. Once you've done some movement and settle into stillness here, and on your next breath in, raise the right leg up into the air, keeping the hips square. As you breathe out, bring the knee into your chest, shifting forward like plank, and now set the foot in between the hands for high lunge position. Come up on fingertips or blocks. Reaffirm the lift of your back knee so that leg is nice and straight. And we're going to inhale and rise up to high crescent lunge. Lifting the arms up over the shoulders. Pelvis is square to the front of the mat. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Good. The next time you exhale, cactus your arms like you're trying to pull a barbell behind your back, squeezing the shoulder blades together and down. And then on an inhalation, elevate your chest more like you're trying to arch your shoulders over the barbell behind you. Good. Take 2 more breaths here in this position. Slight upper back bend. On your next breath in, straighten the spine and reach the arms upward again. And then exhale, release the hands back to the mat on either side of the foot. Good. Bring your back knee to the floor now, low lunge. You can point the toes if you like or keep them tucked. And let's take the twisting variation. Left hand down, rotate from your waist, and raise the right arm up. Good. Really push the floor with your left hand. Feel that shoulder blade glide down your back. One more breath in. Exhale the right hand down. Now we're going to twist to the other side. Before we do, I want you to try and glue your right knee to your right bicep. So when we twist, I don't want that knee to drift. So now open your waist to the left, open the rib cage, and raise your left arm, stacking the shoulders. Keep gluing the right knee to the right bicep. Good. One more breath in. And exhale, release. So we're back here in this low lunge. This time the hands are on either side of the front foot. We're going to return to that half split. Press down through your front foot. Send the hips back, trying to straighten the right leg. This time the upper body is folding straight down over the right thigh. So that thigh is now parallel to the hip joint instead of offset to the side. Let your head release so the back of the neck can lengthen. Feeling your chin just gently tucked toward your chest. A few more breaths here. Good. The next time you inhale, lift your head and chest, flat back. Exhale, return to your low lunge. Tuck your back toes under and lift that knee high, high lunge. Plant your palms and return to downward facing dog. Good. Feel free to move around, rocking into the hips. Just take a moment to notice how that sequence affected the right side of the body. I'm just going to turn my overhead fan on. I'll be back in a second. Good. From this down dog, let's raise the left leg up into the air. Inhale. chest as you shift forward like plank, and then step that foot in between your hands. Come up on fingertips or blocks for your high lunge, and just reaffirm the lift of your back knee if you lost it. On an inhalation breath, slowly rise up, finding your balance in high crescent lunge. Pelvis square to the front, deep bend in that front knee. We're ready to take that upper thoracic back bend again. The next time you exhale, bend your elbows 90 degrees like cactus position. Squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows down and back. And then inhale, elevate your chest and rib cage more, like you're trying to lean your head and shoulders back over an imaginary barbell that you're kind of carrying on your shoulders here. Breathe in this position. Huge front body opening. The next time you inhale, straighten your spine and raise the arms upward again. Exhale and release. Hands down. Good. All right. From here, we take our twisting variation. Let's lower the back knee to the floor. Right hand is going to stay down. Rotate from your waist and raise the left arm up. Feel the right shoulder blade slide down your back as you strongly push the mat with your right hand. Last breath in. Exhale the left hand back to the mat or your block. Before we twist to the other side, glue your left knee to your left bicep to avoid that knee dipping in when we twist. And then open the right side of your waist, raise your right arm, twisting to the other side. Nice deep breath here, keeping that knee and arm connection. Good. Exhale and release. Hand back to the floor or your blocks. Your foot should be centered between your hands here. And now we're taking that half split again. Exhale the hips back in space. Straighten the left leg as you lift the toes up. Folding the upper body forward and down toward your left thigh. The head is heavy. Gently tuck the chin as you breathe here. Good. Inhale, lift your head and chest like flat back position. Exhale, return to your lunge. Inhale the back knee up off of the mat, straightening that leg. Exhale, return to downward facing dog. Good. Feel free to rock the hips, move around a little. Notice what that sequence did for you on the left side of your body. Good. One more breath in. Look toward the front of your mat. As you breathe out, step your feet all the way up to your hands, ending up in a forward fold. Feet hip width distance and parallel. Bend the knees slightly and drape your upper body to the thighs so there's contact there with your ribs. You may need to bend more if the hamstrings are tight tonight. Then hold the back of your calves, ankles, or heels, just really hugging your upper body to your lower body. Good. Let the weight of your head provide traction for your neck. If you think your neck might be tightening, do maybe a little loose yes and no, or some circles with the head. Good. From here, take the hands to the front of your ankles or shin bones. Press against that point and inhale to the flat back position. Straighten your arms and your back. Feel your scapula pull down your back toward your hips. Gently firm up your lower abdominals and hold here as you breathe. One more inhalation. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees and let your arms dangle down now as you roll up slowly through ragdoll all the way to stand. Good. Once you're upright, find mountain pose, letting the shoulders slide down your back. Press evenly through both of your feet. And just settle into your slow breath here. Good. I want to do a little balance work tonight in the context of a very chill, flowing sequence. So if you want to have a piece of furniture to hold or be closer to a wall, we're going to incorporate standing on one leg in balancing crane and warrior three before we fold forward and flow through the rest of the sun salutation. All right? So we're going to start by standing on the left foot. So already root that foot more firmly into the mat, starting to feel a little lighter in your right foot. Let's inhale both arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the right knee up to your chest. Take a full breath cycle here. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more breath in. Exhale, lean forward as you sweep the arms and foot behind you, finding warrior three. Try to straighten the right leg to the best of your ability, but you may need to bend your standing leg, the left one, if the hamstrings are tight. The next time you inhale, we're going to try and return to balancing crane. Bring the knee to the chest as the arms lift up. Exhale, step that foot down and fold over your legs. Good. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, bend the knees, walk back to downward facing dog. Good. From this down dog, inhale and shift forward into plank pose. Exhale, knees to the ground, bend the elbows, lower the rest of your body to the floor. Point your toes, squeeze the shoulders and elbows back. Inhale to a low or a high cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press up to table pose. Adjust your knees forward and a little wider, and then exhale, sit back into child's pose. Just take a moment here to notice how you feel in the right hip, the right side of your lower back. And just take a few rounds of breath here before we return and take that for the other side. And when you're ready to find down dog again, go ahead and bring yourself there. Take a deep breath in and look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees deeply and let your arms dangle down as you slowly roll up through ragdoll, gradually coming to stand. Shoulders down and back. Feel mountain pose. Pause here for a few breaths. Good. So getting ready to stand on the right leg. Just start to press that foot into the floor more intensely so your left foot gets a little lighter. Inhale, sweep the arms up over your shoulders, getting long. Exhale, bring the left knee up toward your chest, balancing crane. Take a full breath cycle here. Inhaling and exhaling. Then one more breath in. Exhale, move into warrior three. Send the arms and the left leg behind you, trying to straighten all three of those limbs. You may need to bend the right leg. Taking a few breaths here, finding your balance. Let's try to return on a long inhalation. Start to lift up. The left knee comes to the chest as the arms reach up. Exhale the foot down and dive forward, folding over the legs. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, bend the knees, step back to downward facing dog. Good, from down dog, inhale and shift forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees, then the rest of the body to the floor. Point the toes and squeeze the shoulders and elbows back. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up to table. Adjust your knees forward and wider apart. And exhale, sit back for child's pose. Settle in, hips to heels, shoulders and arms soft. Maybe a bend in the elbows if the arms were really straight. Taking several breaths here, just checking in with your body. When you're ready to return to down dog, go ahead and make your way there. One more breath in, looking forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Hands to shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, let the arms dangle down as you roll up through ragdoll. And straightening the body, find mountain pose, shoulders down and back. Take a few breaths here. Good, all right, we're gonna do a little hip flexor strengthening work in tree pose. So again, you might want something to hold for balance. This can be a little challenging. It's something I've been working on the past couple months in an effort to strengthen my hip and pelvic region because I cycle so much, and that can actually be kind of weakening despite all of the use it gets. And so if you're really struggling with it at first, I just want you to know that that's normal. So we're going to be preventing the foot from actually touching the leg in tree. We're going to try rotating the thigh inward and outward as it hovers in a tree-like position. So let's stand on the left foot first again. Affirm that foot to the floor and strengthen every muscle in the left leg and glute area. Bring your right knee up toward your chest. And then we want to keep the knee kind of fixed in space. And then bring your right ankle up toward your face more so it rotates your thigh outward. Good. Hovering here with the leg, hands can be anywhere you want for attention, maybe at the waist, maybe one hand on a wall or piece of furniture. Stay upright. Good. Keeping that heel high and the thigh turned out. Now open the leg out to the side. So now my toes are facing kind of perpendicular on the right foot. They're perpendicular to the toes of my left foot. Keep squeezing that outer hip and glute, opening the leg. And now point your right toes down toward the floor and bring the right foot so it just barely touches the standing leg like tree pose. It's not going to actually touch, however. Good. Stay with the breath. Good. From here, point the knee forward, bring the hands to the knee, hug that knee up into your chest, releasing the glute, and then step that foot down. Good. Move your body in any way that helps you release. Good. Hopefully that built some intensity for you. That's definitely hard for me. Maybe that was equally challenging for you. We've got one more side, and I promise the more you do this, the easier it gets. So right foot really affirms to the floor, every muscle squeezing through the glutes and the leg. Bring your left knee up toward your chest without holding it. The knee is going to stay fixed where it is. You're going to lift your left heel up toward your face. So we're externally rotating the left thigh bone. Good. Hold here, breathing deeply, staying upright through your spine and your chest. Good, keeping this external rotation, just open the knee out to the side. Left toes are now perpendicular to the direction of the right toes. Keep the knee as high as you're able to. Good, breathe through it. Now point your left toes down toward the floor. Bend the knee more, bring the foot like it's about to touch the leg and tree, but it's not going to actually make contact. Get as close as you can without touching. Really working those adductor muscles. Good, point the knee forward. Reach down, take the knee or the shin and hug that leg toward you, releasing the glute. And then let the foot go. Good, nice work. Rock the hips back and forth a little bit. Maybe some circular motions in the hips. All right, we're gonna take a wide-legged forward bend, which should feel like a really nice release from that. Separate your feet about as wide apart as a warrior pose. Turn your big toes in and your heels out, and bring your hands to your waist. Good, squeeze your legs. Inhale and lift your chest. Exhale the hip joints back, upper body forward and down. Drop your head and take your hands in between your feet, about shoulder width apart. If they don't touch the floor, you can put blocks in place here for support. Good, nice deep, slow breath. Let your head be super heavy so your neck can remain long. Good, from here, inhale, flat back position, lift your head and chest, walk your hands or blocks forward, and then just look over at whichever is the front of your mat, whichever direction you've been facing tonight. Turn those toes forward, walk your hands over there, just end up in a lunge for a brief moment, and then from there, step it back to down dog. Last time here in down dog, you can move or hold the pose still. Take about 5 breaths. Take one more deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Bring the knees down. This time, let's take child's pose with the knees close together. We're going to point the toes, sit back, and wrap your arms around the legs. And so for me, when I take this version of the pose, I actually prefer to turn my head to one side. That may not work for you if your hips are pretty high away from your heels. This might feel good if your hips are pretty low and you have a low upper body position. So see how it feels, turning your head to one side in this compact child's pose. And a few breaths for that side. You can switch on your own. If this doesn't feel good, stay on your forehead. I'm just going to turn to the other side of my head here, keeping things even for the neck. Good, and then forehead down, take the hands in front of your knees. Press yourself up just to sit back on your heels for a moment in supported hero pose. We're just going to do a little release for the neck before we take rabbit pose tonight. So if this isn't a comfortable way for you to sit, if your knees don't like this pose, take any cross-legged seat or other version of sitting that works for you. Find a nice tall spine, feel your shoulders draw down your back, and drop your chin toward your chest, letting the head be heavy. Keep your spine super upright. So no rounding or dropping the shoulders. It's just the head. And then from here, interlace your hands behind your neck. Slide the pinky side edge of your palms up your neck until they're at the very base of the skull where those two notches are, and add a little bit of extra pressure there to help bring the chin and sternum closer together. Really lengthening the back of the neck and the upper lats. So this deep flexion in the neck is what we're going to achieve with rabbit pose. There's more intensity because of gravity, because we're inverting the head. So if for any reason rabbit doesn't feel good to you, you can just repeat this neck stretch using the weight of your hands. All right, let's release the hands from the neck. Lift your head upright and slowly turn your chin right to left. Just moving the neck around. Good. All right, let's come into table pose. I'm going to move my ponytail off my head so the top of my head is nice and flat. So we're going to come into table. And from this position, tuck your chin to your chest like you just did. Bend your elbows back toward your knees and lower the crown of your head to the floor for rabbit. In this position, walk your knees a little bit closer to your hands so you're like in a really short table pose. And now start the rocking motion. When you press your hips forward toward your hands, the back of your neck flexes more and the chin comes toward the chest. You're more on the back of your skull. When your hips rock toward your heels, you release that stretch, you come more toward the forehead, neutral neck. So go back and forth or feel free to hold in the neck flexion. When you go into the forward position where your neck is getting that deep stretch, just a reminder to check your shoulders. They should not be creeping up to your neck. Shoulders are always drawing down the back toward the hips. Good. Take another few moments here, whether it's constant motion or pausing and holding. And once you feel like you've had enough, just pause for a moment in child's pose any way you like it. If you like the wide legs with arms forward, go ahead. If you like the close legs with the arms back, go ahead. All right, come on up. Take your time. I'm going to have you sit directly in the middle of your yoga mat. And you can sit with your knees bent and plant your feet as wide as your mat. Lean your hands behind you so you can support your upper body with your palms. My fingers are facing the back of the mat here. In this position, squeeze your shoulder blades together and elevate your chest so that you have a slight arch in your spine. Drop your knees to the right, come off of your left hand and twist to the back of your mat. So feel like you're trying to keep that slight arching sensation, as if you're trying to back bend while twisting. And in this twist, where we're twisting everything to the right, go ahead and also turn your chin to the right. Good, we're going to take a little variation, so just listen carefully. You're going to keep your right hand on the floor, turn your chin to the left, and wrap your left arm around your back now. So you're only supporting with your right hand. Left arm's wrapped around the back. And now rotate your chin more to the left, so we get both directions for the neck. Good, and then it probably is easy just from this position, you don't have to return to the twist, to just start opening your chest toward the ceiling. Take that left hand to the floor behind you and pick the knees up. You probably have to adjust your hands, but hopefully it should feel pretty natural to do. Good, all right, other side. Feet are mat width apart. Elevate your chest, squeeze the shoulders together, slightly arching the spine. Drop the knees to the left. Come off your right hand and twist to the back of your mat. Feeling that slight back bend sensation as you twist left. Turn your chin left as well. Breathing here. With this rotation in the head, you should get a nice stretch down the right side of the neck, especially the strap muscles. Good, the left hand is going to stay on the floor where it is supporting you. You're coming out of the twist a little bit and wrapping the right arm around your lower back. And now turning your head to the right. Strong support through your left arm. Good, and then from this position, just lean back more, start to turn your chest up to the ceiling. Right hand comes behind, lift the knees. Good, bring your feet together, hold on to the back of your thighs, and drop your chin to your chest. Start to round your back and slowly, one vertebra at a time, lower your back to the floor. Go as slowly as you can, keeping your chin tucked the whole way down. Good. Once your shoulders meet the ground, then release your neck so the back of the head can come to the floor. Bend your knees a little bit more so the feet are underneath them. Open your arms out to the sides, about shoulder height. Just let the shoulders settle. And just gently roll your head back and forth, side to side. Good. Let your head come to neutral, just feeling very center of the back of your head. Let the chin be neutral. It's neither tucking toward the chest nor is it lifting upward. Just neutral so the neck can be relaxed. Good. From here, if there's anything else you feel like your body needs before Shavasana, some type of finishing pose like a twist or a happy baby, go ahead and do that. But if you feel ready to relax on your back, then just find that position gradually from here. Letting the arms settle, letting the legs settle, or gathering props if you like to do a little supported Shavasana. Take your time arriving in this posture. Closing the eyes down once you're there. And doing a brief body scan, just like at the start of this practice. Trying to let go of any lingering active energy in your body. Take one final deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Letting go of the mental focus on your breath as it settles back into its natural rhythm and speed as you enjoy these few minutes of quiet rest. bring your attention back to your breath. Begin to move a little bit in your body, whatever way feels good. And in your own time, roll over to one side, curling up into a fetal pose. Pausing there briefly, just to notice how you feel right now. And then with as little effort as possible, make your way back upright to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed. Coming back into that deeper breath to help your body with this transition. And you can bring the palms together in front of your heart, and we'll end chanting Om one time. Take a deep breath in. Om. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making the time and space to practice this evening and expressing gratitude to your body. And thank you so much for being here. Get a wonderful night's sleep. Hope to see you again on Thursday morning.